YouTube? So we're back up in here. I'm finally COVID-free. I got tested. I don't have it.
Oh yeah, we live, baby. Your boy do not got the COVID. I do not have it. Oh yeah, we lit again. About time, you know how happy I am. What Kevin Hart said? I'm so excited.
In building with no windows made out of bamboo sticks. I don't know. So excited. I don't know.
Exactly. But I'm gonna get on with y'all though. Now we about to be lit today. I'm already going home. Forget all that.
I've been out the shop for a couple of days, and now it's time to head back to the shop. I love what I do, so I'm so happy I can go back to do what I do. You feel me? I was ready to cut some hair. But it's raining outside. Hopefully all my clients come, because when it's raining, it seems like nobody want to leave the house. But hopefully today's a good day, and everybody still come get their hair cut, and I bless everybody as I usually do. I probably gonna record a couple of my cuts and show y'all, and we're gonna get straight to it though. I'm gonna see you when I get back to the shop, y'all.
Alright, YouTube. We back at the shop. I'm wearing mask on, hoodie on, bro. You get that for poop.
Hold it down.
Hey, it's the announcer.
I'm not a rapper.
I said the words wrong, but yeah. I'm waiting for my first client to get here, and then we gonna start cutting. Let me show y'all my facing. Look, this my facing right here, y'all. Ain't nothing fancy though. It's still building. You feel me? I'm still gotta add some more stuff to my station and make it pop. But yeah, this the shop though. Not everybody here yet, but it gets packed here. It gets really packed. I'm not gonna lie. This is early and it's raining outside, but hopefully, like I said, everybody come. And today gonna be a good day, y'all. Today gonna be a good day. But I'm gonna catch y'all though.
What's up, YouTube, y'all? It's the end of the day. I'm finally done. I'm finally done. I actually did record a cut. It was a taper. I think it came out tough though. But I need y'all to let me know what y'all think about it. Cause me, I feel like it flared. You feel me? I feel like it was crispy, but everybody got their own opinion. But yeah, today was a good day. I made some videos, vlog today. But let me know what y'all think about that cut. We'll be right back though.
Alright, y'all, we got the gun on with us
We're gonna get waves. Yes, sir.
She said she's doing a big top. She want to be cute today for some odd reason. So let's get right to it. Alright, so the first thing you always want to do before you begin the cut is you want to comb it and pick the hair out. You want to get all them little curls out and everything, so you ain't cutting through no gaps or pulling anything while you're cutting. And with her type of hair texture, it's always best to go against the grain. Like as you cut on, you will realize what hairs you could do certain stuff with. And I learned from experience that with her hair texture, it's always good to go against the grain, because if you go with the grain, you're going to leave little patches and you're going to see the scalp. Nobody wants that. You want to leave that hair as thick as possible. So we're just going to take it down to the lowest she wanted, and we're just going to go against it. And you just want to keep that same motion as you go all the way around. Keep your comb in your hand, just comb it, cut, and just get it crispy. Alright, we finally came to agreement on the length that would be good for her starting her waves back up. So now, since we got the length we want, you just gotta comb everything down and go against the grain again, and making sure everything is laying down nice and right, and you got no long hairs or no strands that's sticking out for when we start cutting and when she starts waving up. Alright, so before I begin my cut, I like to use my trimmers and just do the outline first. And this helps me with placing my lines and my guidelines for when I start cutting and keeping everything organized.
Her haircut is complete, y'all.
It's like, no. Alright, so let's get right into this cut, y'all. So now we're about to take our clippers with no guard and we're going to open it. And we're going to go up about 1 inch. See, when it comes to blending and getting your tapers and your fades right, you always got to have control. You want to use your corners and just go up and down with the lever and making sure you're getting every little strand of hair. Keep your brush in your hand too, brushing it down this way so
you know you're not cutting over the same spots, and just look at it. Yes, sir. That thing's getting bald, and that's what we want. That more pop. So we're gonna take our trimmers, and we're just gonna make sure we're getting all them little pieces of hair and taking out that bald guideline that we first put in. Alright, so now we're gonna take that 0 guard, and we're gonna go up about another inch, but less than an inch, if that makes sense to y'all. So since we're doing like a taper and we're a hair texture, we're gonna keep everything content. So this is when the detail parts get to handy. So we're just gonna use our corners, and you just wanna create your next guideline. So before I move on to my next step, I always like to go back and just check everything and make sure everything is nice and blended. So I'm gonna take my clippers with no guard and use my corners and just blend in the 0 with the half, making sure everything is looking crispy and clean before I move on to the next step. Alright, so for our next step, we're going to take that 1 guard, and we're just going up about an inch. You just want to use your corners and make sure you're flicking out, because you don't want to go up higher than what you have to do with the 1 guard, because then the whole taper is just going to be messed up. So this is when that control comes in, and you need that control and that flick of the wrist and using the corners. Alright, so for our next step, it's time to grab that 1.5 guard. So what you're going to do, you're going to go on the flick out motion and go about an inch. Mind you always want to use your corners, brush the hairs down, making sure everything is nice and even. I start with my guards closed for some reason. Like when I do my tapers, I make sure everything is closed, and then I go back, open, halfway closed, and just clean everything up. But that's just the way I do it. So now I'm taking the 1 guard, and I'm opening it and just cleaning up all the little lines I see. Remember, detail is the most important part, y'all. Alright, so now it's time for our next step. It's time to grab that 2 guard. See, I started with an open because I like to have the front of my taper dark, because I feel like it gives it that pop. And I don't use no black ice, you feel me? So everything is natural. So I try to keep the front as dark as possible while still blending it in. As you can tell, I'm just playing with the leather. I'm opening and closing it, just making sure it's blending in. Now I'm going to grab that 1.5 guard, open it, and just blend it in with the 2. Alright, so now for our next step, we're going to take the 4 guard and we're going to blend it into the top of the taper, because we went with a 5 close all the way around. So now we got to get all that bulk off that makes the thing look smooth, you feel me? The smoother it look, the better the taper is. So then after that, we're going to take the 3 guard and we're still going to knock all that bulk off, trying to get every line out possible. And we're just going to go with an open and close, and then we're going back right with the 2 guard, open, and we're just going to make sure everything is nice and blended in. What y'all think about that? Not done yet, but what y'all think so far? Ooh.
Don't come get your hair cut by him.
Got him! Got him!
Nah, go to sleep, don't swear. What y'all think? I think the taper? I'll wait. Look at this side, bro. Oh yeah. Look at that face. She's feeling herself right now. Don't let her fool y'all. She's feeling herself. Oh yeah, and by the way, I don't own the music that's playing in the background. It's not mine.
So now we're moving on to the back part of the taper. So first I like to take my trimmers. I like to do my ball guideline. I like to make sure I'm getting all the hairs off and the neck is clean before I start tapering. I feel like the cleaner it is before you start to cut, it's easier because you see what you're doing more. So now it's time to take our clippers open with no guard, and you want to go up about an inch in the flick out motion. As you can see, I'm going up and I'm just flicking out. It may not look like I'm flicking out, but I'm flicking out. So now it's time to start to get that blend in. So you want to go with the leather halfway open, and you just want to use your corners, making sure you get everything, and then you want to close it, and then you want to work on getting that bald line out. And sometimes if it helps, you got to go back in with the trimmer just to use your corners and knock that line out. So now we're going with the 0 guard, and we're going up about 1 inch. So like I said before, I always like to go back and make sure everything is clean up. So now I'm working on getting that line out between that 0 and no guard. As you can tell, I'm just using my corners, making sure I'm getting every little piece in, and then making sure that blend come out. So now we're going with the 1 guard, and you want to go about 1 inch, and you want to go in a flick out motion. You always want to go in a flick out motion so you're not raising your line up too much. Alright, so now we're going to take that half guard and we're going to work on getting that line out and blend it in. First, I'll start with an open and I work my way down to close. So now it's time to grab the 1.5 guard, and we're going about 1 inch in the flick out motion. If you could tell by now, the back taper is starting to come in. Yeah, look at that. You can see that thing. We like it. So now it's time for the next step. It's time to take that 2 guard, close it, and we're going up about 1 inch. So now it's time to take that 3 guard and go up about 1 inch again. And remember, you always want to blend behind the ear too. A lot of barbers forget to always blend behind the ear. That's one important thing about a haircut, is behind the ear, y'all. So now we're going to take that 4 guard and we're just going to blend the rest in. Remember, get behind that ear. I'm telling y'all. So now we're just going to take the 4, we're going to play with the leather open and leather closed, bring it into that 5 closed on top. Remember, it's all about the details. So now everything's about to be some cleanup work, just making sure that back taper pop out nice. Alright, so with the hairspray, this is a little trick I picked up on. It helps get the hair to stay in the same spot when you start to shape it up, because when you use the trimmers, a lot of times the hair moves a lot. Alright, so now with using the blow dryer, you want to keep it on low and you want to keep it on cool, because if it's hot, your client's going to start sweating again. And sweat and clippers do not mix. And just to remind y'all, all my clippers are 0 gap too. Also, so using the trimmers and everything, you want to be careful. If you're heavy-handed, make sure you use everything lightly, because you can chip somebody, and chipping is not what we want. And I gotta give a shout out to my boy Goat for his 0 gap in my clippers, because if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't be 0 gap. No, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. What y'all think? Did I do it?
Let me know if I did it. I know y'all seen it, right? Y'all, that cut was tough. I tried to tell y'all. I tried to tell you from the big chop. She getting the waves and everything, y'all. But yeah, feel me? We gon' slide down on the tape, but nah. If y'all really did mess with that cut, though, I need y'all hit that like, comment, and subscribe down below. And stay tuned for the channel, cause we gonna come back with more. And this is just the beginning. This is the start with it, man. Y'all, we got bangers coming, y'all. We got bangers coming. But appreciate y'all though. We out to the Smith Boy, the Barber family. We out, y'all.